to bring now Jennifer Kern. She's now the contributor of the Daily Caller and The Hill. Good to see you again there, and your stars and stripes behind you. Dive back into this conversation here about the president and the medical team. The president has to listen to the medical team, right? His coronavirus task force team to make the best decision in all of human interest, right? But there's a whole other side of it, the economic crisis. Is there an issue there debating that with his medical team?
Well, I think this is why you see President Trump actually forming two separate teams. And I think those teams are going to be talking across the teams to one another. But I think this is why you see President Trump do what he does best, which is preside as the CEO, and to have these two teams feeding him with the best information and data possible on both the disease and the economy. And I think he's going to make the best decision that he knows to make based on the facts and the science that the two teams give him. Look, if you reopen the economy and this disease is still raging, it creates a number of problems. And we've seen the public polling on this, I think, is actually quite interesting. Irregardless of what the government does, 78% of the public right now, as of today, is afraid to leave their house because they're not sure that it's safe. And so until we resolve what Team One is going to do, which is the coronavirus task force consisting of Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx, until we get the disease resolved, you really can't get the economy back to work, because then how do people leave their homes, open the front door, resume their life, go back to a desk as if nothing happened? It's just not possible. So I think those teams working together yet separately, I think is a great plan and a great strategy. And I think that's why you see President Trump's poll numbers what they are. They are the highest they've ever been with Democrats, highest they've ever been with swing voters, highest they've ever been with women, and highest they've ever been with Republicans at 89% approval. And that's because people see he really is taking a smart approach to this. He's balancing the virus with the economic impact, and I think he's going to make the best decision he knows how.
Democratic strategist Richard Roth joining us live now. Richard, do you care to respond to Jen's comments?
There's so much to say. I mean, I guess, Jen, you're right. His numbers are high, but he's still barely at 50%. You'd think with a great economy, and if we were leading the nation that well, it'd be higher. But that aside, a lot of this decision is really not even Donald Trump's decision to be made. It's made mostly by the governors of the states. The governors will decide when their state should go back. Yes, many governors will listen to Trump, but Trump himself, it is a big decision for him, although most of it is really upon the states to decide. But he has to listen. It shouldn't be two warring entities, the Pete Navarros and the Dr. Fauci's. He really has to listen to Dr. Fauci and the science and the data. This is not it really is, it's his decision on the federal level, but it's really a function of what the scientists' decisions are, because his big mistake could be if he decides to open up the economy quickly, which he really wants to do. He wants the big bang. He wanted to do it by Easter. Now he wants to do it by May 1, and it backfires, which the scientists are saying it very well may. It'll be a devastating result. So he's got to be very careful. Yes, the polls are high, Jen. He's now above 50%, which is remarkable in light of the fact that we have an amazing economy. But he's got to be very careful here in rendering this decision, because if he does it too early, I know he wants to get the workforce back, and that's a good thing. But if he does it too early, this virus, without the virus being gone, it could be a massive, major impact of casualties and deaths. It's very serious.
Jen, I'd love to get your take back on to Dr. Fauci's recent comments made on CNN that had President Trump taken action earlier, he could have saved lives. It's unfortunate. In a perfect world, we wouldn't see Dr. Fauci making rounds on the different networks. I mean, these are experienced journalists. They know how to get an answer that they want out of you, live on television for millions of viewers to see here. But that is the reality that we live in here. Your thoughts on that and Fauci's recent comment?
Well, look, I just want to know how much Dr. Fauci's getting paid in his book advance, because no doubt, they say fame is a drug, and I think Dr. Fauci has had a bit of a taste of that. Sure, he's focused on the virus, but he's also, I think, enjoyed being somewhat of a rock star in this. And look, the polling for President Trump, I think, is high on its own merit, and you can see that in the numbers of women and independents. And but you also have to compare this to the vacuum that's on the Democratic side, right? And so Richard has a point there. His approval rating is only 50%. That's higher than Barack Obama's was at this point in his presidency. But the key point here is Americans are also saying, if Joe Biden were to be elected, here we have this guy broadcasting from home. He looks like your grandpa joining a Zoom call. That's the other alternative. So I think Americans are going to stick with President Trump on this. Yes, it's going to be tricky. Yes, it's going to be threading a very delicate needle to get the country back to work amid a pandemic that's still going on. But I think President Trump's the right person for the job. Whether Dr. Fauci believes that or not, it remains to be seen. But look, Dr. Fauci knew of this apparently back in 2017, and still we were in the position we were in. So
we definitely could continue to debate for sure. A lot of facts to look out there, and hopefully we'll all have the time to do that once we get through this together. That is Jennifer Kearns, Richard Roth, out of time, but good to see you both. Thanks for coming on. Happy Monday to you.